So very good morning, all of you. So, for the things. So online too, one by one joining. Asma joined slowly. So any doubts, clarification before we start of the previous sessions? Okay. Now that the parliament sessions ended abruptly, right? Though supposed to be end of the month, but because of various reasons, including the fears of the new COVID scenario. Here, a quick recollection of those facts also advisable from polity point of view. Parliament sessions. Now, which session is? Okay, the winter session. Later, will have the budget session. Then you have summer session. That means, in general, we have three sessions. Who will call for the sessions? Session is a period of the meeting of the House. It may be a day, it may be a week, 10 days. Okay, it's all depends upon. But generally, the budget session is the lengthiest session compared to other sessions. And as per the constitution, the gap between one session and the second session should not be more than or should not be less than. Huh? Should not be more than 6 months. Okay, that means the gap between one session and second should not be more than 6 months. That means now that the winter session put off, then within 6 months another session has to be called for. Now, who will call for the sessions? Huh? Is the president. Okay, as per the once you read the parliament and everything, right? Yeah, Asma Jabin is answering in a way. Good. The president of India only called for the sessions. Okay, presiding is different. Lok Sabha presided by speaker, deputy speaker. Rajya Sabha presided by chairman and deputy chairman. They will not call for the session. They will conduct the meetings. Okay, president only call for the sessions. Now that ending the session, what we call technical. Okay, I wrote president. Okay, when the session, parliament session, called for the session. Yeah, summon the sessions. Now ending the session, we called it as good prorogue. This term number of times appeared in the examination. Terminating the very life of the house is different. Here you are only putting an end to the session. So next session may be held. So the technically it is called as prologue. And putting an end to the very life of the house. That implies next alternative is only elections. What we call that? Dissolve. Okay. And of course, dissolve the Lok Sabha only, not the Rajya Sabha. Why not the Rajya Sabha? It's a permanent house, right? Good. Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. Dissolution implies next elections. The very life of the house putting in it. So number of exams, this difference, the possibility of students get confused also. Okay, prorogue and dissolve. Prorogue is terminating the session. So next another session may be held. Dissolution is terminating very life of the house. Okay, so advisable now that a current issue, the keep that in mind. That's how any issue interlinked with the your subjects. I'm sure that you can do wonders. Then one more news the other day, the hope, the war perhaps between Russia and Ukraine, hoping that it may come to an end. Okay, There is a statement issued by Putin. Shortly, of course, America outrightly said we may not trust it, the Putin. But let's hope the best. At least some positive trends are happening. At this juncture, you have to keep one fact in mind. Okay, that of course, when the February the war started, we thought about it in a 1 week or so it is going to be over, but it's going on and on. And the Ukrainian president is getting stronger and stronger too. Not only the support from other countries, even within the country, okay, the people stand by him. So even recently, which magazine declared him as Man of the Year? The Time. Okay. Then recently he visited the United States and participated in the US Congress meet. So all things is a danger. And one of the fact is that Russia take control of few territories of Ukraine so far. So far, 4 territories are under its control. Very beginning, they made it this Luhansk, then Donetsk, then later, okay, these two are initially, okay, the very much in this, then Zaporizhzhia, then Kherson. So these are the 4 already under the control of the Russia. And similarly, the Russia hold the referendum also there. So as per the Russian version, the people preferred those regions be with independent, away from Ukraine first. That is what intention of Russia. Now we have to wait and see what is going to be the fate of these regions if it all ends. Already Crimea was occupied, which is once upon the part of Ukraine. Now these more. Okay. So some territorial gains vis-a-vis with Russia is concerned. But still, if the war ends, that's good enough. And how the negotiations is going to take place. And these two number of examinations appeared as well already. And where this Zaporizhzhia, the nuclear power plant is also there. Because of that, of course, it's not in operational mode. Still, that will be the issue. So this is what it annexed. Russia annexed 4 internationally recognized regions of Ukraine. Okay. So Russia organized the referendum. What is referendum? Seeking the opinion of the people. Okay. Right. Then one more thing, international level, another organization is concerned. The UAE is to host the World Trade Organization's ministerial meet in 2024. Recently, UAE is also organized what meet? What meet happened in UAE? Okay. So what is WTO? World Trade Organization. When it is established? So much time you're taking. Once upon a time it's called as GATT, right? GATT transformed into WTO, right? What is GATT? General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. Way back? 1949. Okay, long back it was formed. But in 1995, it was transformed into WTO, World Trade Organization. What is the main purpose of WTO? Hmm? To promote free trade in the world. Even general agreement on trade and there is an agreement transformed into an organization. Okay. And once it transformed organization, right now there are 164 countries in the WTO. And where is the headquarters of WTO? Hmm? It's in Switzerland. What is the place? Geneva, Switzerland. And WTO is headed by Director General. What's the name of Director General? Hmm. Dr. Noji Okinjo Avila. So there are the few facts which you have to keep in mind. So one, the intention to promote free trade, naturally the tariffs need to be reduced. Not only tariff, other barriers has to be put an end among the nations. So reduction of the tariffs and putting an end to the trade barriers, if any, is an intention. So a decision making body need to be there. All the countries, no doubt members, and the highest decision making body of WTO is ministerial meet. They will take the decision of WTO, what to do, what not to do. It's a collective decisions. No doubt, administration part headed by Director General. Okay, and even the dispute settlement mechanism is there. If any problem arises, you can refer to the disputes. So now that the meeting is going on, I mean about to be held in 2024, 12th, okay, the ministerial meet from June 12 to June 17th. So here the major point you have to keep in mind is the meeting held every 2 years, and this ministerial meet is the topmost decision making body of the WTO. Right, Pujashri Ashman is responding in a way. Good. Okay, so the few quick recollections of those international organizations whenever it will there, and you can keep it in mind. And similarly, another, when you say that United Nations Security Council again in the news, India announces candidature for its membership, not now, 28, 29. It ready to contest. So UN Security Council, and all of you know very well that it is an executive organ of UN. The primary task of UN, that is promoting peace and security, is vested with the Security Council. It's something like our cabinet. How many countries in Security Council? Number of times we discussed, so let us quickly pause on. So 15 countries in the UN Security Council. Out of this 15, 5, 10. These 5 are permanent. These are non-permanent. Non-permanent implies 2 years is their tenure. Permanent implies they're forever. Who are those permanent? America, Britain, China, France, and Russia. ABCFR. America, Britain, China, France, and Russia. And the specialty is that they enjoy what is called veto power, apart from tenure difference. Okay, veto power means the power of rejection, saying no, absolute no. No means no. That means a resolution to be passed in Security Council. Consent of all five is required, not just two-third majority. Even if 14 countries said yes, one of the permanent members said no, that stands. But abstention doesn't mean veto. If at all you wanted to say no, you have to be there and say no. Recently, for example, some countries like China is getting absent whenever the resolution passed against Russia regarding Russian annexation. But it won't be treated as. Okay. So they have to be there and say no. And that point also appeared number of examinations. So veto implies. Now India is a non-permanent member, isn't it? 21-22 January it will start. Is an eighth time India became the non-permanent member right now. Now December 31st, the term is going to be over. Immediately, the same nation is not allowed to contest again as non-permanent member. So it's based on the rotation, okay, assigned to different continents. So next, the term for us, it may arise in 28. So said yes, in 28, 29, we are going to. And who will decide the non-permanent members? When it's contesting means there should be election. They are elected for a period of 2 years. Who will elect? General Assembly. General Assembly and Security Council together or only General Assembly? Hmm? Sure, only General Assembly. Anyhow, they are going to be the Security Council member. How the Security Council member elects? Okay, logically also. So, is a General Assembly. Good. So there are the quick recollections you have to be. Even if you go further, there's a strive for reforms of UN and especially Security Council. And G4 countries mainly struggling. Let be part of veto power. That is, they want to expand the permanent members. Who are the G4? So India, Japan, Germany, and Brazil. Brazil. So South Africa plus G4 plus 1. That's what they are calling it out. So South Africa to latter is getting. And what is that organization stating that India's candidature is opposed as a permanent member? And where the Pakistan playing active role in the UN itself. It's called as a coffee club. Okay. So each nation have their own reservation. So some nations are against Brazil, some are against Germany, some are against Japan. Okay, like this. So they just formed a small group called as a coffee club. So they are against this reform, not the entire reform, the candidature of these countries. But anyhow, once the Security Council main decision making body, all five permanent members said yes, and those reforms can be carried on. Right now, China is only holding. All four are ready. So we have to wait and see what is going to happen. But anyhow, in this contest, this is a fact you have to keep in mind. How many organs in UN overall? 6 organs. Okay, General Assembly, a legislative organ, and Security Council. Okay, then ICJ, a judicial organ, International Court of Justice. Where the headquarters of International Court of Justice? Hague, right? Hague in which country? Netherlands. How many judges there? No. Okay, 15 judges elected per period of 9 years. Any Indian right now? Or Bandari is there? So Then, of course, Secretariat, Administrative Wing. Secretariat is headed by Secretary General. Who is the present Secretary General of UN? Antonio Guterres. Okay. Then, of course, another last sixth one is the functionless organ. What is that? Trusteeship Council, a redundant or functionless organ right now. Yeah, Padma talked about Hague, Asma, Jabin, Sex. Oh, right. Then, coming to the next, the recent one more is Group of Friends. This is a new one. India has launched this Group of Friends to promote accountability for crimes against peacekeepers. Okay, crimes against peacekeepers. There's a purpose of it. So, peacekeepers is nothing but the United Nations peacekeepers. So, we wanted to facilitate support to the host state. Apart from the moral and material support, we want to create awareness, exchanging information, sharing best practices, all the things in this part. Right now, the Bangladesh, Egypt, France, India, and Morocco and Nepal have joined this group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. India plus another 5 countries right now in this. So this is in tune with the UN Security Council resolution of 2589, which stipulated that the concerned country has to take care also about the protection of the UN peacekeepers. And India is one of the greatest contributor for the peacekeepers from the beginning. So wherever either civil war is happening or two countries war, the UN there. And remember, UN is not having its own force. It will be contributed by nations. Okay, and India is a regular wing itself. Whenever we want it, then we are ready to support the UN and the peacekeepers. So there's a new grouping arises. So the group of friends, one this used. Okay, so keep that in mind. Then of course another country is the Rupee is a king now. That's what the things latest. Here there's a concept that's a long time happening. When the transactions international level will take place, each country have their own currency, and most of transactions happen in terms of dollar. So a concept of de-dollarization is on the forefront for a long time. Even China and Russia ruble, Chinese yuan, there's a going on. India too, with an Iran. So this also we use the word swapping of currency. Okay. So why? What is the need for? Okay, it's not just bilateral. Why don't you go forever? So recently RBI has given a nod for this purpose. So RBI now says why? Because right now, no, one of the thing is that our rupee value is regularly or continuously decreasing. So as a part of step, they feel that why we need the dollar at all. If you wanted to pay to any other country, you have to again once you are taking the dollar, you have to pay the convenience charges, conversion charges. They call. That itself is turn a lot. So at least save that. That's an important thing. So that our rupee value will not be reduced. So initially, at this juncture, there is a point where when the RBI came up with a proposal and which the central government accepted, and Russia is badly in need right now because of the sanctions get affected. So Immediately Russia came forward. Then the Sri Lanka too, already in financial crisis. India is helping a lot. And Sri Lanka too feel that instead of the dollar terms, let us go ahead with it. So this de-dollarization is going to take place, and right now both the Sri Lanka and Russia now use Indian rupee only for international trade. So they are using Indian rupee as international trade instead of dollar. So that itself is a step forward towards it. So let us see this how far this dominance of the dollar will be reduced and the Indian rupee will be strengthened. With the governor of Reserve Bank of India? Sure. Right. Then another international level you'll find this COP15 summit adopts historic biodiversity deal. That's it. Recently only we discussed about the COP27, right? That is of course conference of parties held under the auspices of United Nations Framework Convention on Climatic Change, mainly focused on climatic change and environmental degradations, those issues. And this is a Chinese-backed summit, mainly focused on biodiversity. Okay, so positiveness is there here. You have to protect and preserve the biodiversity. So to protect and reverse dangerous loss to the biodiversity is the issue. And this summit was held in Canada. And they are planning to have this worldwide fund, world wildlife fund as well. So that is one of the issue apart from the others. And this the meeting we called as sometimes Kunming Montreal Agreement. Okay. Kunming Montreal Agreement. So finally, it's then then come to the US. The US President Joe Biden signs gay marriage legislation. Even in India also, there's an issue. So once the rights of the LGBT community was recognized by the Supreme Court, and the number of cases to file, so why don't you recognize the marriage? So under because right now the Special Marriage Act is not so marriage implies two, but as uh, the American happen. So let us see this how in India it is going to take place. And it looks like the marriage between the same-sex couple is recognized more than 33 countries, including recently Argentina, Australia, also. So when it happened in India is the issue. Then of course the FIFA World Cup at international level and finally over. So the few quick facts you have to recollect who is the winner. So Argentina and runner up France. And apart from the few awards also they made it Golden Ball Award, Golden Boot Award, Golden Glove Award, Golden Player Awards, and mainly the Messi name is very much is there is a the part. So the 7 goals winning this the Golden Ball Award. This saved. So this event 22 over and 26 is going to take place in 3 countries Canada, Mexico, and US. So these three they are hosting together in this. Then of course FIFA advisable to have the full name Federation International de Football Association, though it was founded back 1904 itself, but regularly this World Cup meeting happening only after 1930s. So this is all when 1930 first the Uruguay, the first meeting, then 34, 38. So it clearly shows that every 4 years this meeting is going to be held. But here there is a gap. Why? Second World War. So the meet was not held. Solve the issues. So anytime in India, but recently Modi expressed the desire that yes, 2030 it should be held in India. So we have to wait and see what is going to be done. So right now in Argentina and 2018, so previously it was held in France. So starting 18 and present, of course, the winners. Okay, also who is the winners and all the things it is. Okay, then one more thing is actually the Brazil is oh, is very popular contender FIFA World Rank, but still the Brazil tops FIFA World Rank. Though this time it's not able to win. Okay, Brazil maintained a top spot in the FIFA World Ranking despite Argentina winning, is what it says. So last time in 1986 it won it. Okay, so Argentina and France, they are the second and third places when it the ranking part is concerned. Then of course another related to sports event, the Union Sports Minister unveils Hockey World Cup trophy in Delhi. So the World Cup it is concerned with the hockey. So all the 1975 Hockey World Cup winners participated here. So in 2023, it is going to be held in Bhubaneswar. 13th January onwards, it will begin. Then, of course, another sports, Delhi is going to host the 36th Wrestling Championships of 2023 as well. Then, PT Usha, again, the name. Last week we discussed that PT Usha became the chairman of Indian Olympic Association, and she's a member of Rajya Sabha as well, a nominated member. And now in the news because she's been to the vice chairman panel in Rajya Sabha. So here the presiding officer of Lok Sabha is Speaker, Rajya Sabha Deputy Speaker, isn't it? Lok Sabha Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Rajya Sabha Chairman, Deputy Chairman. Is not Speaker, Deputy Speakers. Okay. And who is the chairman of Rajya Sabha? Vice President is ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, and deputy chairman is only get elected. So, in the absence of these presiding officers, there will be a panel of speakers there in Lok Sabha, whereas there is a panel of vice chair. So, they use the word vice chair, not the chairman. Panel of speakers there. Here, not panel of chairmen. Okay, only vice chair. So the difference you have to, which are the following is true, false among the following, like these questions are appearing in the recent exam. You have to be very conscious about that fact. Okay, so generally the 5 members in the panel, the senior most members be in that, and this time it came to the chance of PT Usha and being the nominated member, so not elected. Okay, how many members in Rajya Sabha? Right now 245. Total members of Rajya Sabha 250. The maximum strength 245. Out of this, how many are nominated? 12. Which fields? Eminent in sports, arts, literature, social service. Okay, right. So those fields are chosen, and who will nominate? Not state. Is the president nominates. Okay, what the term of Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha is a permanent, but members' term is 6 years. Elected members' term is 6 years. Nominated members' term, that's also 6 years. Right. One third retired for every 2 years. That's all scenario you can recollect. Right. Then apart from this time we are preparing this Andhra Pradesh also. Then Vijay Sai Reddy also is in the panel. Is from the AP, the YSRCP as well. Okay. Then one more again in the hot news in this part is citizenship part to be eased for 6 minority groups from 3 nations again, because we have the Citizenship Amendment Act CAA 2019. It amended which act? 1955. Okay, by permitting these 3 nations, but is yet to notified. So because of that, in different ways, now again it was eased further. So quick recollection: what are those 3 countries? Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. What are the 6 communities? Hmm. 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 Hindus, Sikhs, okay, Buddhist, Jains, okay, then Parsis, Christians, okay. So these 4 almost all they will go together. Hindu implies Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhs continuously. Then of course the Parsis and the Christians. Now there's a contention regarding this. These 3 countries. One more thing need to be added: Sri Lanka. Okay, refugees. So recently the Tamil Nadu, right, represented. Last week we discussed that. Then of course the other day, the 23rd December, celebrated Farmers Day. Of course every year, no doubt it is celebrated on the occasion of the birthday of whom? Of course the Prime Minister of India also. The 5th Prime Minister of India, Charan Singh. Okay, the party is now 120th year, the Charan Singh related. And one of the reason why this is in, that is keeping new the Farmers Day. Yesterday there is a lot of protest in Telangana, okay, by the ruling party, okay, against the anti-farmer policies of central government. So keeping the future Telangana State Public Service Commissions issue as a protest and advisable to remember this day also. Okay, but remember when it come to the Jai Jawan Jai Kisan, there's a slogan. Number of competitive examination will find that is associated with whom? That is second Prime Minister. After Nehru, right? Yeah, good. Lal Bahadur Shastri. So there's very much over that. Okay. Later when the Janata Party rule, Morarji they say then later. And Charan Singh, one factor number of competitive examination you will find is the only prime minister never faced the parliament. How it be? Nearly 6 months he is in office. So 1 month time he was given by then President Neelam Sanjeev Reddy to prove his majority on the floor of the house, but not able to get the support. Then he resigned within that 1 month. Then the president asked him to continue till the next alternate arrangements were made because the Lok Sabha dissolved. So elections, so the things. So because of that, the issue. That's the one crucial factor you have to keep in mind. And advisable at the juncture, number of policies, programs vis-a-vis with Kisans are concerned. Then another related is the UNESCO. The three more Indian sites were added to UNESCO's tentative list. What is the full form of UNESCO? United Nations. E stands for Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization. So what are the three? Though symbolically here. Hmm. 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 Okay. So it's a rock cut sculpture of Unnakoti of Tripura. Okay. Vadnagar of Gujarat and Sun Temple of there. So when it says tentative list, it is nothing but an inventory of these properties which each state party intend to consider for nomination of the World Heritage List. So right now overall 52 sites. Now India is. Then here when is this Unnakoti Hill, it's also called as, okay, these are things which are this Angar but of the northeast. So number of I mean previously too, okay, this used to be appeared in the nations. Then any significance of other temples? Any points that we can? What are the others? For example, Vadnagar of Gujarat. Any speciality? Hmm? Okay. Hmm. 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 So it looks like it's a continuous habitation for more than 2,700 years. So one of the statistics says. So that means it evolved. Early historic fortified settlements are there. Interland port, center for industries of shells and beads, all the things. Apart from the religious issues. Then Sun Temple, Modhera. So you have how many sun temples? Generally, Konark Sun Temple is known, Orissa. Then another sun temple, of course, Modhera. It's on the banks of which river? Pushpavati River. Right. So one more is in Kashmir also there, Martand Sun Temple. Martand, Martand in Kashmir. So it looks like this temple, Sun Temple of Modhera, built by, if at all few historical questions, Chalukya dynasty king, Bhima I. So during his reign, it was built way back 1026-27 era with a Maru Gurjara architecture style. Maybe important in this. Okay. Then one more constitutional issue. The Supreme Court dismisses review petition filed by Windows. So Supreme Court has jurisdiction, and most of the things, review petition, judicial review. Okay, is both are the same or different? Power of review, judicial review. Okay, generally that's what in headings you will find it. So the review of what here? Review of its own judgment. Already Supreme Court delivered the judgment, so you are not happy. Again, your action reconsidered again. There's a review petition. Okay, so as there is no merit here, it was put off. What is judicial review? That is different. Review by judiciary of what? Of legislations and executive orders. What for? Are they are in accordance with the provisions of the constitution or not? They are checking. If it is according to the constitution, they declare it as legal. If not, ultra virus, unconstitutional. They will strike it off. That is judicial review. This review is different. Under which article this review? Because now that it becomes a big issue and a lot of discussion on this. Okay, Article 137 is talking about the power to review. If at all the review, okay, if the one judge deliver judgment should be by more than that number. If it is by 5 judge bench, constitutional bench, it will be more than that. 7, 9. Okay, you have 13 members. Keshwanda Bharti case reviewed what judgment? Golaknath case was reviewed by it, isn't it? So whenever the review of its own judgment, it should be more number of judges. So when it can be reviewed? So in 2013, because most of you now preparing for the group 1 mains as well, keep in that mind, do it part. When the court feels that there is a need to correct some sort of a patent error, not just a minor mistake, so it can be done. And in 2013, Supreme Court ruling laid down 3 grounds seeking the review. So one is discovery of new and important matter of evidence, and mistake or error apparent on the face of record, and any other sufficient reason. Okay, that is analogous to the other 2 grounds. Then only it can be taken up. Otherwise, no. Of course, any person aggrieved by ruling can seek a review. And right now, they fix the time limit within 30 days that need to be reviewed. So, because in this case, try to recollect those issues of the constitutional points. Then, the defense side, INS Marmu Gavo in the news. It is a missile destroyer, stealth guided missile destroyer, and not the first one, but is the second of the four. And they're the part of the project 15B as well as in B. So 75 indigenous content it's having. And these ships with the BrahMos supersonic cruising missiles, it's having it up. What are the other missile? INS Marmugao, okay. Other warships. Vishakhapatnam. One is Vishakhapatnam. Another is Impal, Surat. All those named after certain famous places. Total four. Okay, that's what out of the four. This is the second one. The Vishakhapatnam already commissioned. Now Marmugao. Then shortly Impal and Surat. So when you're talking the four ships, Vishakhapatnam, now this Marmugao, Impal, and Surat. INS Vishakhapatnam commissioned when it was commissioned? Last year only, 2021. Now it's the second. And next year they are going to be commissioned. So they are designed and constructed by whom? In India. Now that indigenous 75%, Majagon, Dock Shipbuilders. Where it is? Mumbai. So Marmugao is the name of what? Historic port of where? Goa. So even the 60th anniversary of the liberation of the Goa, okay, it was commissioned specifically on this. Liberation of Goa, when you're talking about, is 60th only. So when 1947, when India became, Goa is not part of India. So when 61 only, Goa became part of India. So any referendum conducted or plebiscite conducted? Or we occupied? It's by occupied. Though we tried to convince, it's not the British colony, right? It's a colony of Portuguese. So finally, the Indian troops attacked and occupied. What is that operation called? Operation Vijay. Operation Vijay, 1961. Goa became. So initially Union Territory, later became the state. Then of course, when you're talking about this submarines, recently, what is the submarine? Yeah, Wagir, or also it is. So it's a part of this Calvary class, French design. Okay. Already we have Arihant. Okay. The Sindhu Ghosh, Shishumar. Then INS Arihant. Okay. Last time we discussed is a nuclear powered submarine launched, of course, long back. Now, Wagir is the fifth of India's six deadliest subs delivered. That's what he says. So, when you say this project 75 is a part of it. So, six Scorpion class, when you are talking about, all again built by these Magellan dogs only, with the help of the France. We're doing it, okay, from 2005. So INS Calvary, the first one, and commissioned 2017 only. Then INS Kandheri, 2019 already commissioned. Then INS Karanj, 2021, and fourth one is INS Vela, 2021. So 2021, two projects joined all these words, and last one is Berkshire. Is going to be in 2023. So all the five over now. Okay. Then Samudrayan mission. So Chandrayaan mission over, now the Samudrayan mission. So now they are planning to send three personals to 6,000-meter depth. So Chandrayaan up, this is depth. So this vehicle called Macha, 6,000. Of course, here it is. And designed and developed by this National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai. So in this point, because the coast part is there, overall, how much the coastline that India have, also try to recollect, and how many states, which is home to 9 coastal states and the innumerable islands. So we have to take care of this. Overall is a part of this, another term, right? The blue economy. And this part, when you say this, right now, the US, Russia, Japan, France, and China, the five countries having this Nikki technology and these vehicles, this now India join in this club. So India is the sixth country. Then one more again the news recently about the Zonal Council meet. The Eastern Zonal Council meet, that is nothing but Northeastern Zonal Council meet was held. So the quick recollection of the facts again. So when 1956, the state reorganization happened, because you know that when the country get divided, no doubt, but at the same time when the Britishers left, we have number of princely states as well as the British provinces. British provinces don't have much issue, but princely states more than 500 plus. So it's not possible to have so many states. So grouping them. So initially grouped are A, B, C, D. Right? That grouping clause suggested by which commission? Of course, it's not the commission, the cabinet mission. And you had this grouping clause A, B, C, D. A and is nothing but British provinces. B is the princely states. Okay. C is Andaman Nicobar Islands. D is all northeastern states here. Okay. Governors provinces they call. Then later there's a demand for linguistic states. So after we got independence in 1948, a committee was appointed. What is that? SK Dar committee. But it was not agreeable to the people. So another committee appointed, JVP committee. But both the committees reject the demand on linguistics. Then of course Potty Sriramulu sacrificed. Then the Andhra state created. Then they thought of state reorganization. How many states was created at the time on the recommendation of SRC? SRC was headed by Fazil Ali. How many states created? 14 states and union territories. 6 union territories created. So at that time they feel that if any disputes may arise among the states, either regarding the border or regarding any other issues, because water sharing is there, possibility cannot be ruled out. So for amicable solution, this zonal council was mooted. Initially 5 zonal councils, the Northeastern Zonal Council was added with this, so it became 6. And the zonal councils will be presided by the Home Minister. Okay? And all the chief ministers of that zone are the members. So these are statutory. That implies they are not the constitutional bodies. There is no dedicated article for zonal councils. So initially 5. Central, of course, eastern, western, northern, southern, and central. And later we have the northeastern states was added later. So totally 6. Of course, the constitution provided for interstate council. Okay, constitution itself is interstate council is a constitutional board. Okay, but that has to be called for regularly. Then Mrs. World 2022. So it looks like after so many years, got back this title after 21 years. So again, it's in the news very much. Sargam Kaushal and so 2021 Aditi Govitrikar, then it is. And one the those who are aspirants of this APPSC has to keep in mind is that though she belonged to Jammu and Kashmir, she worked as a teacher in Vizag also. So there's some sort of the link for the AP possibility of asking this sort of the questions as well. Okay. Then the last question, one more on Telangana. Telangana red gram, okay, is a tandoor, our sir's place, okay. Tandoor red gram gets a GI tag, okay. So number of GI registrations now increased to 16 in the state. Okay, right. So these are the issues. Any other doubts, clarifications? Okay. Right. Thank you very much. See you. Bye.